Welcome to the Hi5 of Customer Experience, a podcast brought to you by CXMLab.com. It will be a short, sharp, and interactive podcast with some of the best minds in the business, and we will take 5 key questions. CXMLab is a platform to express thoughts, ideas, and tools that drive customer experience and will enable marketers, CIOs, CTOs, and CDOs to think, reflect, and make the right choices for their brands and organizations. For more insights, you can log on to cxmlab.com. Our guest today has seen it all, from fast evolving digital technology, data analytics to data-driven insights to creating connected systems. I'm happy to welcome Deep Thomas, Chief Data and Analytics Officer at Aditya Birla Group. Welcome, Deep. Hi, hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you for having me. And I'm doing well and I hope you and your family is as well.
Yes. Deep, you were one of the pioneers of marketing analytics more than a decade back, actually. How has the space evolved since then?
Well, I would say that I think the beauty of analytics was marketing. In fact, I recall when I started my career way back in the early 90s, we were part of the marketing organization. In fact, we were supporting strategic decisioning for the marketing organization around customer acquisition and relationship management. And it was in that space where we were making parametric models, response models, NPV models, customer lifetime value models, to where we are today. A lot of innovation 15, 20 years back, whether it was collaborative filtering, next best product, understanding, customers' profitability, came from the marketing organizations. But today, as we speak, I think the world has started seeing the importance of data analytics, not only in marketing, but in all the other functions. In fact, as you yourself know, while marketing continues to leverage analytics to its fullest potential, we see massive adoption of analytics in risk, we see that in operations, we see that in supply chain, we see that in procurement, we see that in other core functions like finance, legal, HR. And what leaders are realizing that whenever you have to make decisions and whenever you need to make sound decisions, you need to make it on the basis of good data.
Yeah.
And good data which is mined effectively can help you make better decisions. And organizations that make better decisions perform better. So the space today, regardless of the sectors that you are in, understands the importance of data analytics for all its core functions to help drive strategic outcomes.
Absolutely. So, Deep, do share your thoughts on how business leaders need to think on developing connected digital strategies, which cut across ecosystems for their organizations.
That's a great question, I think today the world is witnessing the power of connected devices. So there are 2 examples that I will share. One is the ability to now leverage the power of connected devices. And what I mean by that is, let's say I'm a manufacturer, my ability to connect man, machine, and materials allows me to optimally utilize my assets. Also determine, at what point, do I determine what to procure, because now I have the ability to understand through signals the fluctuation in the commodity prices. And I also have understanding of how my suppliers are doing. Which supplier today is exposed to risk, and hence I should not depend too much on that particular supplier. I have the ability to manage what I call it as golden paths by looking at various parameters, leveraging sensors technology within the manufacturing plant. So that's one part of connected devices. An organization should start thinking about how can they use connected and digitized ecosystems to drive operational efficiency and supply chain improvement, procurement cost reduction, or even asset utilization and workforce optimization. So that's one part.
Yeah.
Part 2 is we also understand that the consumers or the customers today are looking at holistic solutions. And let me give you an example from the agricultural industry. If I'm a farmer today, a farmer would expect to get advisory on the weather, would like to get advisory on the pesticides or the herbicide that we should use in order to improve the quality of the produce. You may need some advice on the financing option. You may need some advice on insurance. You may need advice on selling the produce at the right time, at the right price, and connecting them to, let's say, the ecosystem where you'll have the supplement and what have you. You may need information, pertaining to a host of other things, related to the overall type of produce which could grow in a particular land policy. Now, historically, a farmer would have gone to multiple places to get that information. Correct. But today we are seeing an ecosystem, an agricultural ecosystem, which is bringing all of this things together to a farmer. Yeah. And what this does is that it now creates a stronger pull for a farmer, because whether it is an advisory required on financial products and services, or advisory required in terms of maintaining the crop yield, the farmer is now having an overall ecosystem which is being put together by an aggregator who is bringing, let's say, financial services there, is bringing a weather advisory, and so on and so forth. What you're seeing here is something that we witness across multiple sectors, and the world tomorrow will be dictated and will be led by organizations that can provide ecosystem opportunities and ecosystem solutions, or can seamlessly partner with somebody else in order to provide a complete ecosystem. So whether you see it as entertainment, or education, or financial services, or retail, or what have you, everybody is now looking at how can I be a part of the ecosystem, how can I be a part of the aggregator, or better, how can I be the one who's connecting the consumer to the rest of the world, so that I become the front end who interacts with the consumer to cater to his or her needs. So that definitely is, again, a big play that we will see in years to come. And this is purely because of what digital offers. The ability to connect the consumers through digital interfaces, the ability to connect to the back end through the IoT devices, and the ability to get a holistic view on what consumers need through the social and the other data signals will allow an organization to provide a more holistic proposition. And we do believe many more such ecosystems to come up going forward.
Absolutely, Deep. I think, but the biggest challenge in all of this is a collaborative mindset. And this is, I think, by far the biggest hurdle that most organizations are facing at this point of time. How do you think leaders can use digital data and analytics to drive collaboration across the organization?
I think that's, again, a great question, Neeraj. It's a coalition of the women that people keep talking about. Yeah. And it starts from home. And organizations talk about having data partnerships, but what we must understand, I think the data partnerships can start from within. So if I'm sales and marketing organization, if I'm sales and marketing function, I should be sharing that information with the R&D team so that I can come up with better products and services. Right? If I am, let's say, in the manufacturing, if I'm heading a manufacturing plant, I should have information that I can share back to my sales and marketing so that product quality can be improved on the basis of what customers are saying. Yes. There is a clear opportunity where organizations should have a more unified approach towards using the data. You can't just say that this data belongs to my domain and should be staying within the domain. You should, in fact, get into this mechanism of creating what I call it is an enhanced sphere of influence of the data. My data is not only helping my function, but can also help another function. And unless we break those shackles and unless we start practicing that collaborative mindset of looking at information more holistically, we will not be able to provide a holistic solution. Because at the end of the day, consumer doesn't care whether you're coming from a sales and marketing view, or you're coming from a manufacturing view, or you're coming from an R&D view. At the end of the day, he looks at you as an organization, right? Right. So it behooves us in an organization to come together and share this. First, you share it amongst your functions, and of course, with all the necessary controls, governance, and what have you. And once you're able to maximize the value of the data and enhance the sphere of influence of the data, then you can start looking at what external data partnerships that you can have, which complements and augments the information, the knowledge that you need to have in order to offer better products and services to your consumers.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Deep. And this leads very logically into my next question, which is, once you've got the collaboration going, once you've got the data, the biggest task is to generate actionable insights. And with this vast amount of data points available across organizations, dark data, third-party data, first-party data, service data, operations data, what kind of strategy would you recommend to cut to the chase and enable organizations to generate ROI using analytical solutions?
I think it starts from the problem and not from the data that you have. There's two approaches. One is, look, this is the data that I have, and this is what I can do. Which is an approach that you can always take. But even better would be, what is the business problem that I have? If my business problem, let's say, is to reduce my energy cost. If my business problem is to improve the reliability of my assets. If my business problem is to reduce my procurement costs. If my business problem is to improve the optimization of my workforce, or to reduce the SLA when it comes to dispatch of my goods, or to increase the wallet size. Depending on the business problem, you then go back with what is the data that I would ideally like to have. What is the data that I have today? What is the initial data that I need? And then go with the problem. And again, there also, if it is tied to the KPI, whether it is revenue growth or cost reduction or risk mitigation or improving customer experience, you will then get the sponsorship and the attention from the MDs and the management committee. If it is not tied to a KPI, to a business goal, then it just ends up becoming an academy. So tying it to the KPI and then identifying what we call it as a pilot, what could be done in 8 to 10 weeks to show the predictive power of what the data could do, what this augmented intelligence could do in terms of meeting that KPI would help maintain that level of trust and excitement in the organization and the endorsement to then scale it up to a larger enterprise level. So again, best to start with the business problem, have it tied to a KPI, and then look at what is possible to do it in 8 to 10 weeks as a pilot, and then if the pilot is successful, then scale it up.
Yes, Steve. Steve, the retail business has been hugely impacted by the current crisis. What's your take on the future of retail? Online, offline, integration, customer experience, hands-off experiences. How do you see this whole space evolving?
This has, again, this is an area which has been impacted perhaps the most amongst most of the sectors, any other sector. But I would also say that in adversity comes opportunity. We saw the same thing in the Great Recession in 2008, 2009, which also led to the evolution of a number of what I call it digital-led financial services products, services and products. We would expect the same thing to happen now in the retail world. Of course, health and hygiene or wellness and hygiene is top of the mind for every consumer. People come to the stores because they want to experience how clothes fit. Will they come to the stores again, consciously knowing that anything that they will try on, may have an element of risk. So the whole experience of trying out something has to have some element of digitalization in it. Now, how this space emerges depends on the degree of innovation that retailers can bring in. We already see a number of these things in aspects of 3D, body scanners which take the measurements and create a 3D avatar and then superimpose apples so that it fits perfectly according to your, shape, size, structures, and taste and what have you. We're also looking at 3D mirrors which are more interactive in a manner where any contact-driven retail experience could be avoided. We are also seeing digital assistants which are almost like what I call your Manish Malhotra in a digitalized avatar, who would be your concierge, would be your digital assistant, who on the basis of your taste structures, on your body type, on your skin tone, recommend for an occasion what is it that you should wear, and then go about scouting for the right apparel from a host of digital properties. So I think this space will see massive innovation in the next 2 to 3 years. We are also seeing the use of computer vision because as people come in, using computer vision to drive stronger engagement by looking at their emotions, by looking at their gestures, would be another space that we would look at it. So I would say that the world of AI and ML will play a big role in the retail space. Yeah. Of course, from a consumer standpoint, the experience has to be channel agnostic. You would see a higher convergence of the offline and the online channel. But more importantly, what we would see is the use of digital interventions to create the level of personalization, to create the level of curation, to create the level of hyper experience or very strong, personalized experience, and keeping in mind, at least in the next 2 years, the wellness and the hygiene aspect, that is top of the mind in everything.
Yeah. See, many large organizations have been setting up these incubation labs, innovation labs, to kind of encourage a startup mindset, which is like agility and quick action and ability to pivot. What's your take on this trend and how do you see this unfolding?
I believe this is not a hype. This is almost a business imperative, because organizations can no longer say that look, we are big and we can do it best or we know it best. I think every organization is realizing the importance of outsiders. Every organization is realizing that you can't do it on your own. You've got to work with the startup community. You have to work with academia. You have to also work, with other enterprises where you can co-develop solutions. Or as I said earlier, ecosystem, the point that you mentioned. There are organizations that are coming together because they feel that if they join forces, they can offer the best of the breed ecosystem solution. There's a reason why Disney is now partnering with Byju, because Disney understands children better and the experiences that they're creating with children. Byju is into education. They're bringing together an ecosystem of edutainment, which is entertainment plus education, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult for a child to have a concentration in front of a mission for 8 to 10 hours. So what we're seeing is that organizations are realizing that regardless of how big you are, if you don't have the culture of curiosity, if you don't have the culture of agility, if you don't have the culture of experimentation, and more importantly, if you don't have a maniacal focus on outside in, you could go bust tomorrow. You could cease to exist tomorrow. So it's a business imperative as opposed to, let me just set up another incubator. And it allows an organization to continuously try and test new ideas, new products, new services, and come up with new ways of differentiating its products and services from the rest of the competition. So I would expect more and more organizations to start investing, because the whole objective is to learn, and innovation does not come without learning. So you need this ecosystem in order to help instill and drive innovation in your organization.
Absolutely. Well said, Deep. Thank you very much for your time. It was indeed great talking to you, and a great bunch of insights that you shared, which cut across connected digital strategies, cut across ecosystems, actionable insights, innovation labs, incubation labs, and the future of retail. I think we covered a whole gamut of subjects. Great to hear you. Great to hear your views, Deep. Thank you very much for spending the time with us.
Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you for your time again, and good luck to you. Thanks.
Thanks.